A growth mindset is the belief that skills and intelligence can be developed with dedication, learning, and effort. In this video, I'm going to take you through how to develop a growth mindset for success in your personal life and your business life. The first thing you want to do is embrace your challenges. Don't be scared to take on that challenge. Don't be scared to move forward and say, give it to me now. I am ready to take this on. When you develop bravery to take over a challenge, you don't know the magnitude of growth you're already setting for yourself. Once you develop a mindset of welcoming challenges and conquering challenges, you're already halfway there. It's about shifting your perspective. Instead of avoiding tasks that are difficult, rather use the eat the frog method and do the difficult tasks first. This way, you will feel accomplished. When a challenge presents itself to you, you almost feel like, oh, your fear button is on. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm ready to take this on. But if you look at it as something that's going to grow you, that you're going to learn from, that you're going to propel yourself forward, it sets the tone for how you're going to embrace this challenge. Look, you're not going to get all challenges that are conquered, right? You're not going to get every single challenge that is a win for you. But what you will get is the learnings from it. So to me, it seems like a win-win already. The best way to take on the challenges is to really just set incremental goals. Because if you look at it as a big bombastic thing that you need to conquer, it starts feeling overwhelming. It starts feeling like perhaps you don't have the thing, the je ne sais quoi to get it done. But if you break it up into small little goals, it becomes a little easier. For example, your challenge was to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. You trained for it every single day. You thought about it as a challenge and you don't know how you're going to do this. All you're thinking about is climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. But what if you dissected it and said, if I need to climb this mountain, I need to first get fit. And if I need to get fit, then I need to break it down into monthly goals, weekly goals, and try and train myself so that when I'm there in front of the mountain and ready to climb, I would have trained, I would have eaten right, and I would have done the work that requires me to be great at this. But if you just look at it as a climbing initiative and don't have goals around it, it's not going to work. Setting incremental goals is crucial in tackling challenges successfully. Every time you set an incremental goal and you conquer that goal, it will give you the motivation you need to get to the next goal. And before you know it, when you look back, you will have already conquered all those goals and you're closer to conquering your challenge. The next thing you want to do to develop a growth mindset is you want to cultivate lifelong curiosity. Always have an ever-learning mind. Why? How? Because of. Question everything, learn everything, absorb everything, be a sponge for information, for knowledge. You can learn from anyone. You can learn from a 5-year-old, an 80-year-old. You can learn from circumstances. You can learn from experiences. You can learn from absolutely anything. The mere fact that I'm sitting here right now, I'm learning, I'm experiencing, I'm exposing myself to different challenges. I'm exposing myself to maybe different angles of the camera, different viewpoints, different lighting, whatever. But I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm facing the challenges that are presented to me. The next step in developing a growth mindset for your personal and business life is invest in learning. Put money towards yourself. Whether it's university education, whether it's small certificate courses, whether it's webinars or conferences that you need to attend, leadership conferences, marketing conferences, personal development conferences. These are the things that are going to shape you to think better, to know better, to network with the right people so that you can gain the right circle. It's just a wonderful experience to open yourself up and to be teachable all the time. When you realize that your mindset is shifting to being teachable, to wanting to absorb information and to learn from experiences and challenges, then your mind starts broadening, it starts becoming more accepting, and it starts formulating a different kind of chemistry because it's now ready to take on the next challenge. And your mind starts automatically becoming stronger because you're expanding the way it's thinking. When I was a little girl, I used to always say, why? I would almost do the 5 whys regularly. And my granddad used to tease me about it all the time. He was like, you always ask why. But that was a good thing. It made me want to know more about the world. And the things that I asked why about so often turned out to be the things that helped me in my life today. When I think about all the questions that I wanted answers to, it taught me lessons that I use in my daily life. And I also use it in my work life, even the simplest of things. So it's always important to embrace the whys. And when you do get the answer, to take it in, to absorb, and to see how you can use that lesson in your own life. This is my favorite step in developing a growth mindset. You want to embrace failures. I have failed so many times. I have not done well in many instances. And the moments where I took the lessons from those failures, I think I turned out to be much better of a person and stronger at the thing. But the moments that I decided to just rebel, maybe just be hateful that failure happened, I didn't really grow in those instances. For example, I'm a graduate in Bharatanatyam and I also teach Bharatanatyam. And I thought I was really good at Bharatanatyam because I used to get accolades for it. People used to say, hey Ro, you're really good. You made me cry. You ignited some emotion in me. And I kind of grew some ego with the kind of talent. And then I stopped rehearsing and I stopped practicing. I was someone that practiced minimum an hour a day. There was never a day that went by without me practicing some form of dance. And then ego got the best of me and I stopped practicing, and I didn't think it was necessary because I thought I was the ish. I didn't need to do this again. And then I got a call to do a dance recital about a week before the event. And so I put something together, I put a song together, I put some moves together, and I gave it maybe a shoddy practice session. I went on stage, I danced, and it wasn't that great. The feedback that I got wasn't that great either. I didn't choose the right song. Needless to say, it was a Tamil Eisteddfod, and I danced for a North Indian song. Epic fail. That was so inconsiderate of me, but I didn't think. I was arrogant, I was egotistical, I thought I was better than everybody. I never really thought about it that deeply. And so I just put something together and went to the event, not realizing that I didn't think about the audience, I didn't think about the actual event, I didn't put in the work to rehearse. And that event was so bad. And I became rebellious. I was like, people are they're just ridiculous. Like, I didn't understand that they were giving me feedback. And then I went on to do another event and I did the same thing. But this time I did it the other way around. I did a Tamil song at a North Indian function. So at that event, someone actually said to me, why did you choose this song? And I said, it was just the easiest song that I could find at last minute. Then the old lady said to me, you know what? It would have been nice if you did this song. And then I thought about it. And I realized this was not the first time that I did that. And I need to be more considerate. This is very important to people. They plan these events. They ask you to perform at the event and they think of you greatly. And you should give them the respect that they deserve. And you should give the art form the respect that it deserves. I pivoted and I learned from that. Had I done that at the previous event, I wouldn't have experienced that again. So yes, the universe presented me with the same problem until I sorted it out. The moment that I took the feedback and I learned from it, I became a positive person. I had a growth mindset and I became a better performer for it. Whereas in the instance that I didn't take the feedback too well and I thought I was too good for it, I didn't grow. The next one is surrounding yourself with growth mindset people. If you don't have friends that have this type of mindset, then find them online. Find them in a book. There's so much information out there that it's so easy to find people that you can aspire to be like. I am often around a group of people that are quite negative, and sometimes it's not their fault that they're negative. It's just the circumstances that they're in that they tend to be negative at times. And I find myself also becoming negative because I'm around them and I need to be around them because I work with them. But when I'm at home, I try to change that mindset. I try to involve myself in other conversations. I try to look at content that will drive my positivity. I try to read books that help me. I try to sit down and meditate to still my thoughts, because I know that the environment that I am in sometimes may not be conducive to positivity. So I try to expand my circle by reaching other avenues so that it helps me to develop this positivity and this growth mindset. Now, I'm not saying that you should be around people and things that are continuously all the time having this growth mindset. Sometimes that's impossible, right? Because we're living in a world of different kinds of people, different kinds of emotions. Sometimes I'm on a high and I'm this let's grow, let's do this thing type of person. And sometimes I'm in a slump and I'm not feeling so great and I'm not so let's go, let's do this type of person. And so if I'm like that, then every other human is also experiencing the same thing. And because we experience these highs and these lows, surrounding ourselves with a general flavor of the same type of personality in terms of growth mindset is favorable. I also find like networking sessions are also such a positive growth mindset for me. I love attending monthly marketing networking sessions because then I get absorbed in a different kind of culture. I meet marketers that are so damn good at what they do that I feel shaken in my boots. And I want to feel shaken in my boots. I want to feel like I need to do more in my craft. That's when you know you're growing. If you're the person that's the strongest in the room, perhaps that's not the room you want to be in, right? I watched a TED talk recently and there was this lady, she spoke about the yet mentality. And I love that concept because if you're not good at something, you just add yet to it. So I haven't learned how to play basketball yet. I haven't received my paycheck of $10 million yet. And if you just add yet to it, something happens in the universal energy that it starts feeling like it's actually possible. It's something that is achievable. I think it ties also very nicely to manifestation and affirmations and really just walking in that stride of I am this person, I will perform as this person, and that's how I'm going to manifest this type of life. And I think when you think about things also in a positive way, it helps you to propel yourself and it expands your mind and you're able to stretch it further and develop it further and hence have a growth mindset. The next step is practicing compassion. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. You are your own best friend. There is no one on this planet that will be as good as you can be to yourself. Therefore, you have to show yourself compassion. If you are someone that looks in the mirror and hates what they see, your mind is not ready to grow. But when you look at yourself and you say, I am beautiful because I am living this life and this body took me through all of those moments in life and I love myself and I'm growing and I'm developing and I'm just beautiful, something chemically changes in your brain and it expands, and the compassion almost fuels the brain into like growing bigger and better. In relation to being compassionate to myself, I also like to reflect on my day. There's moments that I may have felt sad, may have felt anger, may have felt happy, may have felt just meh. I want to think about that and I want to see how I can improve for the next day. And then I put a little to-do list on my phone so that I'm reminded when I look at it to just not do what I've done yesterday if it was a mistake, for example. And that helps me to just improve. Nobody's perfect and it is a work in progress, but as long as you're doing it and you're trying every day, you're already growing your mindset. Now, life is full of ups and downs. The mental drain that life can put on you is inexplainable. So give yourself a break. And embrace the fact that you are going to experience some hard times. But when you're experiencing those hard times, you got to remind yourself that this too shall pass. This is not going to last forever. And you're going to get over it. And you just got to see yourself as this person that has conquered that challenge, that has gone past this challenge. What does that person look like after you pass this hurdle? And then just show up as her every day. I think the resilience to setback is also about training yourself on how to manage stress and looking within yourself to build mental toughness. Are you meditating? Are you exercising? Are you speaking to the right people? Are you taking walks? Are you sitting in the sun? Are you reading the right content? Are you giving yourself time away to detox? Are you taking a break from stressful events or circumstances? And all of this helps you to become resilient in tough times. But if you're not pouring into your own cup and you're only giving to other people, you will not become resilient during tough times. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So you got to take care of yourself and you got to put yourself first. Because if you don't put yourself first, how the hell are you going to take care of the people that you love? They're depending on you to be the best version of yourself so that you can be the best to them. You owe it to yourself and you owe it to them. The next step for a growth mindset is to seek critical feedback actively. I want to know from you, how is this video to you? Do you like it? What can I improve? Do you like the way I present these videos? I want to know, and I want to take that feedback and improve on it. But it's no point someone saying, your YouTube video was great and that's it. What does that do for me? I mean, yes, it's great that someone can say that. I love that. But I also want to welcome the difficult feedback so that I can improve. And if I take away the sensitivity from it and use it as a constructive analysis of what I do, that's going to help me to improve. That's going to help me to be a better YouTuber. Someone's perception of you is their reality, right? So if someone thinks X about you, it's their reality, and maybe it's worth knowing why they think in a certain way. There are going to be moments where you get people that just are horrible or they're mean. So that's why I mentioned constructive criticism. I didn't like the way you presented this YouTube video because you spoke really fast. That's constructive. I didn't like the video you did is not constructive because it's just you didn't like it. Why? I just didn't like it. That's not constructive. So understanding the difference is also important so that you know what criticism is the ones that you actually can learn from. When we look at leadership, how do we apply the growth mindset to leadership? I love to encourage growth in others. I try my best to share anecdotes, share personal experiences, maybe share stories that I've seen online to the teams that I manage so that they can maybe be inspired by it. Maybe they can also share some of their experiences and we can get the ball rolling with great conversation. It's always something nice to start your Monday mornings with or end your week with because it helps each other out and it also motivates the teams to just develop a different kind of thinking. When you're in the work environment, it's also nice to encourage people to uplift themselves, to build on their skills, to expand their horizon in terms of what they do for work. And as a leader, create an environment for them so that they want to learn, they want to grow, they want to better their craft. And don't gatekeep. The last thing you want to do is stop someone from improving themselves because you are as strong as your team. So if they're doing really well, that looks really good on you. And you as well as a leader should not be stifling yourself. You should not be relying holistically on the team to do everything. You should also be propelling yourself in terms of what can you learn to better your leadership skills, to better your craft, to better maybe your expansion in terms of how you're going to see the business and so you're able to execute better. There's enough knowledge to go around and there's so much to learn. Adopting a growth mindset requires consistency, it requires discipline, it requires an open mindset, and it requires someone that is willing and malleable and adaptive enough. If you are someone that wants to grow your mindset so you can be successful in your personal and your business life, then follow these steps and you will be successful in it. But you got to be consistent, you got to be disciplined, and you got to want it. You got to show up as this person that is growing, that is learning, and that is expanding their lives every day. Thank you for choosing the front row with me. And and tell me about your growth mindset tips and tricks. I want to know from you.